What you're seeing right now is some Python code and a particular symbol that is hovering right above a function definition like a tiny UFO. If you've ever used frameworks like Flask or Django, you have probably seen this before. They are called decorators. To a lot of beginners, decorators look like dark magic. But today, we are going to demystify them. You will not only understand exactly what decorators are and how they work under the hood, but you will be writing your own. To understand decorators, I want you to think about a smartphone. Out of the box, your phone does exactly what it's supposed to do. It makes calls, sends texts, and browses the web. This phone is a core function. But let's say you want to add something like drop protection, a built-in kickstand, and maybe an extra battery pack. You could crack open the phone with a screwdriver and try to solder those features directly onto the motherboard. But that's messy, it's risky, and it may permanently change the phone. So instead, what you do is you snap on a case. A decorator in Python is exactly like this phone case. It is a tool that allows you to wrap a function, extending its behavior and adding new features, without actually changing the original function's internal code. You can take a function, wrap it in a decorator, and you can give it some amazing superpowers. Before we build a decorator, we need to understand one golden rule of Python. Functions are first class objects. What does that mean? It means functions in Python aren't some just invisible process. They are objects, just like strings, integers, or lists. And because they are objects, you can do two very important things with them. You can pass a function into another function as an argument, and you can return a function from another function. So let's take an example. So we have this following code, and if you notice, we haven't used any kind of parenthesis here. We aren't executing the function. We are just passing the function itself around like a variable. And this is the secret ingredient that makes decorators possible. So now let's build our own decorator. A decorator is simply a function that takes another function as its input, adds some functionality, and it returns a new wrapped function. So before we start, we first need to look at the syntax. So here's the code, and we need to understand what is actually going on. So we first define our decorator function, and this function takes a function called func as an argument. Inside it, we create an inner function, and we called the wrapper function there. And inside this wrapper function, we have written a code to run before the original function. Then we execute the original function itself, and then we run the code after it. Lastly, we return the wrapper. So after this, we can write another function. So let's say we have this new function called saveVhi, and we return or we print v, right? And after that, we will call the decorator function manually. So what this does is, if we take a simple function called like what we have defined, say v, and we can pass into our decorator function, and now when we call the v function, it runs through the wrapper first, and we have just added new behavior without changing the original function code. Now just typing this line where we have tried to call the decorator function manually every time is a bit clunky. And the thing is, Python developers love clean code. So they've introduced something called syntactic sugar to make calling a decorator function easier. So instead of that clunky reassignment, we just use this particular symbol, the @ symbol, and we just place it before we place this @myDecorator right above our function, And what this does is our Python interpreter automatically wraps it up, and it does the exact same thing which we have done previously behind the scenes, but it makes it like hell more cleaner. Now, you might ask, where do we actually use this decorator functions in the real world? If you have heard about frameworks like Flask or even Django, we have this particular thing called app.route in Flask, and login required in Django for login and authentication purposes. So these are all decorators. We also have the timer decorator function, which performs all those performance testing. So there are many real world aspects and cases where you can use decorator functions, so it is quite important and it makes the code way more cleaner. It separates the code logic of your app from the administrative stuff and so on and so forth. So that is the decorators in a nutshell. Your core function is the phone, the decorator is the case, and the arrow symbol is a very modern way and a very clean way to use or to write the code. So if you like this video, then hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon so you never miss an update, and I will see you next time.